Well, first of all, nice to catch up with you, Michael. Lovely smile on your face as well at this horrible time, of course, of what's happening in the country. Is it a case for you of remaining positive?
I think we've got to, haven't we, really? We've just got to, like, keep going, keep doing what we're doing at home, and keep preparing as if we're coming back for the 16th of May, because that's when we've been told that we're coming back. So obviously we just got to try and keep that frame of mind where it is positive, and we just keep working towards that date, really.
It's a completely different sort of scenarios that you find yourselves in when you would have been playing your football with plenty to go for towards the end of the season. But now, for the last sort of 7 or 8 weeks, your whole lives have changed, haven't they? What's been the biggest change for you?
Obviously not having a routine, really. Well, saying that though, we have got a bit of a routine now at home. Like, every day seems to be like the same sort of thing, but it's coming out of, like, obviously that working routine and getting up and going out and doing your bits at work and stuff, and then coming home I normally come home to an empty home. My missus working and my son maybe at nursery or whatever, but obviously we're here 24/7 now, and obviously life's completely changed at the moment. And when you go outside to do your little bits like your shops and stuff like that, and seeing how crazy it is out there, and obviously training on our own, like preparing for when we go back. So everything's all changed. So it's just a bit weird, a bit surreal, and I never thought we'd ever see this in our life, right?
As you say, it's a complete change, because what you've been used to from a young boy is professional, getting to a professional footballer and becoming a professional footballer, and it is a real routine. Have you got into anything new? Have you been sort of doing anything DIY and shopping, baking, anything different?
My missus has got me doing everything in the house. Like anything that needs doing now, my missus is on my case. So yeah, I've been doing loads of like stuff within the house, like obviously decorating and DIY and all that stuff. But I thought I was going to learn something new, but I really haven't done anything new. I've just been like very occupied with my son. He keeps us very busy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just spending all my time with him, doing all sorts with him, and just obviously just cracking on with it, basically.
How good is it to have your family around you? You know, we've spoke to the gaffer a few times and mentioned Tumour and NA, of course, of his family. And he's got a youngster as well who are not here. But for you, you must be delighted to be around some family and some close friends.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because I spoke to Tumour yesterday. Like, he's one that you do think of and think it's going to be like a really tough time for people like him, because he's obviously playing in a different country and he's all on his own and stuff like that. And obviously he's got a young little girl himself, younger than my little boy, and he's obviously going to be missing his family and stuff like that. So yeah, I do feel lucky and privileged that I've got my family around me, and we keep each other entertained. We get each other positive and get through our days like that. But yeah, I do feel very lucky, to be fair. Yeah.
You've talked about the program, the individual program that you've had. How have you coped with that, and how do you actually feel in yourself when you're like racehorses, aren't you? You're topped up to your fitness to play and get out on Saturday and play, and this has been a completely different sort of routine. How do you feel in yourself fitness wise?
Well, obviously we're doing what we can. Like, we're working as hard as we can. Obviously it's a bit tough, because when you're training on your own, I don't think you can get like that full work out of yourself, like in terms of the competition that you have with other people and stuff like that. So obviously we're trying to do everything we can, and I don't think it's the same as obviously the match fitness and stuff like that. So but other than that, obviously it's still a good blow, and we're still working hard, so we're still getting good stuff out of it. I still feel good. I feel very good anyway. But yeah, I'm just relishing coming back now. I just want to get back to obviously training and stuff, and getting towards the games, and hopefully that can happen soon.
The manager's obviously still been in touch with his players on his call and with his staff as well. In terms of you yourself, have you been able to keep in touch with? You've mentioned Tumour. You've been able to have a chat with one or two of the lads here and there to keep the spirits up. Yeah,
we do keep in contact. We video call each other every now and again, a few of us, and I've been in contact with the gaffer a couple of times, just checking in and like seeing if there's any news or anything like that. Yeah, we're just obviously just trying to keep each other's spirits high, and obviously be positive, and just having a good laugh, and just trying to entertain ourselves during the day, and just like obviously just keep cracking on, basically.
You talked about keeping the spirits high. The one thing that has happened, and we'll talk about it in a moment, is this week some real great news for the football club. And I would think for yourself when we talk about it that you've been able to extend that contract wherever it may take you in terms of your loan. But just on keeping spirits high, you were a part of the earlier weeks of calling the supporters and getting in touch with some of the fans as well. And I was privileged to be asked to do that as well, alongside quite a few of the members of the club. That was a great little exercise, wasn't it? And you got a feel for that.
Yeah, it was good. It was a nice feeling as well. Like, obviously, like trying to give back to the supporters, seeing how they were and how they're coping. Obviously, it's not an easy time for anybody, and everyone's going to be obviously missing it. So yeah, it was good to obviously do things like that, and I actually enjoyed doing that myself. Obviously, I'm conversating with the supporters and stuff, and just seeing how things were. And yeah, it's just it's mentally like challenging, isn't it? Like, you do have to try and get through each day as best as you can, and obviously just keep positive about it.
Do the supporters call you Michael, or do they call you Sheriff?
I normally get the Sheriff. I normally get the Sheriff wherever I am, to be fair.
Yeah, it's really gone down. It's gone down really well. Let's talk about that loan extension. Who knows where it's going to happen and where it's going to take in terms of playing the games. But first of all, you've been able to do it. That was the key thing, was it, to get it to signed up and know where you stand if the games are played?
Yeah, I think it was just important to obviously get that done, just in case we do get back. I think the loan finished on the 28th, which was obviously the last day of the season. Yeah, and when I was told about it, I think I was given the option whether I wanted to come back or not. And I said to the gaffer, it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? Like, obviously, since I've come in, I've been welcomed with open arms. Absolutely, like, thoroughly enjoyed it there. And yeah, I can't wait to get back and try and finish the season off as champions. You know what I mean? So once the opportunity came to do it again, it was a no-brainer. I had to get it done straight away.
What has the spell done for you, Michael, coming to Crewe? Because unfortunately, you've gone out of favour at Blackpool. I read your article with the Blackpool Gazette. I mean, we all knew what was going on, of course, as well, because you know, if you were in there, you would have been playing and you wouldn't have come to Crewe. But what has this spell at Crewe Alexandra done for you now? How's it made you feel again?
It's done wonders for me. Like, you know, the longer it went on whilst I was at Blackpool and I wasn't playing, I actually started doubting myself, like whether I was good enough to do stuff and was it too much for me. But I don't know. I don't feel like I was given the fair crack at it at Blackpool under Simon, for whatever reasons. Obviously, I kept my head down and tried to keep working hard and tried to get myself in the team all the way until like the very last minute. But it just didn't work for me. And obviously, getting myself out on loan to Crewe was a massive opportunity for me to prove myself. And obviously, just get my head down and play football. And since I've come, I've really, really thoroughly enjoyed it, which has allowed me to just be like confident again and just get my head down and keep working hard. And seriously, it's been absolutely fantastic since I've been there.
The results have gone terrifically well, haven't they? I think there's only one blip since you've come into the team, one defeat. And, you know, it's not all about you, but you had to fit in. And I suppose when I've, you know, look at it, you're 30 years of age, and did you feel as though you thought, right, I'm going to prove it here, I'm going to show it, I know what this football club's all about, it could be the right place at the right time for me?
Exactly that. So obviously, like you said, I've just turned 31 last week, and like coming there, like knowing a lot of the lads are going to be younger players. I see myself as a senior player with obviously not loads of football league experience, but loads of experience in terms of years of football. I needed to come there and show what I could do, and obviously bring my experience and knowledge to some of the younger lads, and obviously help try and kick on. And I think I've done that, like since I've turned up. But that's a credit down to the players as well, because from day one, since I've been at Crewe, they've welcomed me with open arms, and they made me feel like I'm at home basically straight away. And to be fair, like I did feel a little bit nervous when I first came, because I've never moved during a season. And at the time when I moved, I was the only one that's obviously signed for Crewe at the time. So like, you wonder how it's going to go. It's like being at school again, isn't it? Like first day at school. But now it was brilliant. Every single day, I really, really, really enjoy it. Really do.
Well, you talk about it being at school, a little bit older than that, but it's Will Yaskalainen, Perry Ng, Luke Offord, Harry Pickering. and a Michael Nottingham across the back. There isn't much age in numbers there apart from Michael Nottingham. No disrespect to you on that, but do you like that little bit of experienced senior player leadership sort of qualities that you can bring out to them lads as well?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Obviously, like I do feel like I'm that kind of character anyway. When I'm on the pitch, definitely, I feel like I like to be like a leader. Obviously, they're all very, very good players, so they don't really need coaching or guiding very much anyway. But obviously, like wherever I can help in any single way, like I'll try and do that. They're brilliant players, and obviously, not only am I trying to guide them, they're also helping me. Like I'm just because I'm like 30 years old doesn't mean I can't learn and kick on. Like I'm learning from these players as well. They're very good players, and they've made it easy for me. They've allowed me to play as well as I have done since I've been there, because they are very good players and they make it that easy. So credit to them as well.
There's a lot of scenarios, as we've talked about earlier in this chat, of what could happen, what might happen, how is it all going to end. Crewe are sitting really pretty at the top of the table. They are in the automatic 3 promotion places. They have got the points per games totally, if required, if the games don't get played. What would you hopefully can happen? And are you just a little bit worried with coronavirus of being safe as well?
Do you know what? The way I look at it is like we don't have a clue what's going on. Like, so whenever we ask the question, if anything, has anyone heard anything, we really don't get much back in terms of no one really knows what's going on. So it's not really in our hands. Like we've done what we could, like in terms of getting ourselves in that position, in a half position in the table. Obviously we're top right now, obviously on goal difference with Swindon with their game in hand. So obviously that puts us in that half position of the points per game system if it goes that way. But we don't know which way it's going to go. Like we just got to obviously just keep doing our thing and keep preparing as if we're going to be going back, because that's what we've been told. You know what I mean? So I would love to go back and try and finish it, and obviously finish it as champions, for sure. But yeah, I suppose we are lucky in a sense that we're in a healthy position. Like if it does go that way in terms of points per game system, then maybe we'll go up. But who knows what's going to happen? I really don't have a clue.
Well, the judgment's going to be made with nearly 80% of the season completed. It's not as though you've only played 5 games or 10 games and they're making a judgment. So they're making a judgment over the long period. And you're right, nobody knows. We're the same. We're all waiting for guidance for whatever is going to happen for the world of football. But a promotion at the end of it, if it did happen, whichever way it happened, is what everybody would want, and what a feeling that would be. How would that make you feel when you think, you arrived at January and seen the season through and gone up as a promoted player?
It would be unbelievable. Obviously, like, I think that's what everyone wants at the start of the season is the promotion. So obviously, it's not how you'd want it to happen, but like I think the club has earned its right to get the promotion because the club's sitting there at top of the league. So for anyone to say that the club didn't deserve it, they'd be wrong. I know it shouldn't happen really that way, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Obviously, like I said, I'd love to go back and try and finish it and win it that way. But if it happens that way, where you just get promoted through the points per game system, then the club will take it, because obviously, like, it's very important to try and get up.
The biggest worry for League Ones and League Two players, of course, is financially what is happening to the football clubs with no games, and of course, contracts are running out. Is it a worry to you? Is that a concern?
There's loads of concerns. There's all sorts of concerns. Like it's a worrying time, because it's a very uncertain time where no one knows what's going to happen or how long this is going to be going on for, or what effect it's going to have on the next season and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very, very concerning. You're hearing all sorts of stuff like every single day. So, but like I try not to think about it too much. I'm just trying to wait for the the notification that we're going to be going back and doing stuff at a certain point. But yeah, it is quite worrying. It is quite worrying, simply because we just don't know what's happening really.
The supporters are delighted. It's been a great response to get the Sheriff signed up. The obvious question, what's coming. I've probably saved it to the end, but you know what's coming from most of the supporters is, get him signed up permanently. Where do you stand?
I've got to be honest with it. Like, I just don't know. Like, simply because one, the season's not finished yet, so we have to try and get that done and see what happens there. And two, because I'm still a Blackpool player and they still have the power in terms of the option. They have an option year on me for next year, and so obviously I don't have a full say in what goes on right now. But like, obviously, believe it or not, I've enjoyed playing football at Blackpool over the last couple of years. That's the club that gave me the opportunity, you know, to league football. And they've got a manager now that's really ambitious and really knows his stuff. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
So it all depends on what happens at the end of the season in terms of what Blackpool wants to do. So I don't really have the full say in what's going on. But like I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time at Crewe, and obviously, like, if the option was there, believe me, I'd consider it, definitely.
Yeah, thanks for being open on that. It's not easy for you to explain to the supporters, but you've been really open. Whatever happens for you, there's no doubt about it. This particular time at Crewe, you've got into the sort of nuts and bolts of how the club is run, and I'm pretty sure you would say there's a fairly good future ahead if they can keep the squad of players together.
Definitely. I like everyone I speak to about the club, I always go on about how it's run, like the morals and how they do stuff, and the players that they bring through is absolutely unbelievable. Like, I didn't realise how good the squad was. And I mean, like, every player there, I reckon, has a right to say that they should be starting in the games. You know what I mean? They're really that good. And there's loads of players that have come through over the last few years, and players that are still coming through now. I think Crewe, as a club, are very secure in terms of what they have for the future. There's really good players here, and I don't think that'll be a problem for the club at all in the near future, definitely.
Well, final one. Highlight of the season so far for you? Was it the goal at Exeter, or was there something else that's been a highlight since you've been at Crewe for this time?
Highlights. I've had a few good highlights in a short amount of time already. Obviously, the goal was definitely a highlight. It's always good to get a goal and stuff like that. Get your first goal anyway. But the one that sticks out for me, I think, has to be I think it was the Oldham game at home, where Kirky scored last minute.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was the highlight because of the importance of the goal and getting the 3 points that day. And obviously, it put us, well, it kept us in the top three, basically. And I think, like, obviously, goals like that, they make massive differences in terms of winning titles and stuff like that, or getting yourself promoted. So I think, obviously, it's got us to being top right now, and say if it does come to that goals per game system, then it's those kind of moments that have made the massive difference in terms of the season. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, just that feeling at the end of it. Like, I remember running over and celebrating with the lads and stuff like that, and I actually thought to myself, you know what? I think it's meant to be. You know, just the way it's happening.
Take care, stay safe, and it's been great to talk to you.
Thank you very much. You too. Take care. All right.